Today we're going to look at Japanese folded. Now the art of Japanese folded is to wrap a circle round a square. And all you actually need is some time, some fabric, and probably a plate. Having said that Japanese folded is the art of wrapping a circle round a square, you can wrap any size circle round any size square. So I've suggested you get a plate. Why not? You might want to have a fairly small plate to begin with and just make yourself a card copy of the plate. Much easier to draw around than having a plate knocking around. One way of doing it is to take your plate, draw around it on the back of the fabric, cut out outside the drawn line, leaving a seam allowance, systematically by hand turn the seam allowance over on that drawn line and hand tack it in place. That is a complete waste of time and you don't want to do that. Much better, in my opinion, is to draw around said plate on the back of the fabric, place the material on top of a piece of interlining. I'm using L11. You're then going to sew all the way around the drawn line, either by hand or machine, it doesn't matter. When you've stitched all the way around the drawn line, as you can see I have here, you're then going to trim back to a very small seam allowance from the edge of the stitching, so cut it right back. You don't need to clip it, just cut it right the way back. When you've cut it right the way back, slit the interfacing and you're going to turn the circle through the hole. This will give you beautifully turned in edges. Now I mentioned the fact it's a circle wrapped round a square. To find the square, very simple. Press your circle in half and in half again at right angles. So basically we pressed it north, south, west and east. The distance between the two creases from there to there is the size of square you need to put in the middle. So cut yourself a fabric square that size. If you like, you could say, I could just have a fabric square, or hey, I could put some wadding underneath. And I'm using that really rather nice bamboo mix wadding. In addition to that, you could say, hey, why don't I make it a little bit stiffer? So you could put some of the S80 under there. Another extremely good non-fusible stiffening. You might like to go for the whole lot, have S80, bamboo wadding and your fabric. Then what happens is you roll the excess parts of the circle over the sides of the square and you stitch it down. Now you could do the stitching by hand or you could do it on the machine. It really doesn't matter. Now this is the basic premise. These could be sewn together to make a mat. You could make it any size you like. How about making a box? So if you were to put 6 of these together in a small T-shape, as I have here, this would make a very nice little box. There is the base of the box. There are the sides, the 4 sides of the box coming up like that. And there is the lid of the box. And there you have your box. So that is the basic art of wrapping a circle around a square. But why do we have to have the circle as being one piece of fabric? Why couldn't the circle be, say, 2 pieces of fabric? If you're going to do that, then you want to draw a line on your card circle directly across the middle. And I've sewn 2 strips of fabric together of equal width. I then placed my circle in the middle with the midpoint of the circle running along the seam of the fabric, drew round it, laid it onto the L11 interfacing, stitched all the way around, turned it through, and instantly you had a 2-tone circle. Now the possibilities now for design are actually quite amazing because you can take your centre square and you can place the centre square in so it goes like that. And then when you fold the parts of the circle over, you're going to get 2 blue sides and you're going to get 2 green sides. And it could look something like this. And if we put these together, you can see all sorts of different designs that you can make. And whether you have them stiff or whether you don't have them stiff, or whether you have it like this, turn it round and turn it round like that, or whether you have it like this, make many of them, it really doesn't matter. Let's have it like, there we are, and put that there. So you can absolutely play. So if we can do that, you could stitch all these things together and say get a mat. And here we have slightly different colour variation, but the same thing. And the nice thing about using a circle made of 2 colours is the back is not just going to be one plain colour, as we have here, it's going to be two-tone, and you'll get all sorts of different patterns happening on the back. You could go a stage further and say, okay, if I can wrap a square up in that and fold it over, what would happen if I added, say, a small piece of colour in this corner and then wrapped it up? You'd get a little square showing through. This could be bonded down with bonder web and then stitched round. And if you turn that into a box, you could end up with shapes that look a little bit like this. And there we have a box made from a two-tone circle and small squares of fabric applied in the corners there. So the possibilities of Japanese folded really are legion. What about, instead of wrapping up a plain square in there, you use something textured? One of my textured ideas called crossing over the tucks. Wrap that up and it could end up looking like this. If you go on and say to yourself, okay, I could have a textured centre, why not have something very different and change the centre for, say, 4 different squares? And when you do that, you're going to get something that looks like this. I've changed the centre for 4 different squares, because you can have anything you like in the middle, and all you have done is you have wrapped a circle round a square. That is the whole premise behind Japanese folded.